All right, we are going to practice using a 4-step plan for problem solving. So these are some problem solving strategies, and when in your life you are going to be given a problem and you are not going to be also given like, here, use this formula. And so now, or these are the numbers you need to add. So this problem solving strategy is going to help you figure out what information do you know, what don't I know. You're going to plan, how am I going to solve this? I'm going to choose one of these excellent strategies to help me. Then I'm going to solve. I use my strategy. And while I'm doing this, if it's not really making sense, I can always just start over. And then last but very, very important is I am going to check. And when I'm done, really think about, does my answer make sense? Okay, so when you are going to be completing, you have, it's 1.1 to 1.3 problem solving. As you're working on those, if you feel stuck, use your problem solving 4-step strategy, your plan. I'm not going to help you unless I've seen that you've really tried to use a method to solve the problem on your own. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate or show you how to use the plan. So my question that I have here is, how much money does Devin make at the end of September? Devin makes $30 every day he works. He works 20 days during the month of September. Devin has a spending problem and buys new shoes every week. He also buys his favorite teacher, Miss Pricing, of course, a candy bar 5 times during the month. Devin also buys Miss Pricing a Minnesota wild flag for her classroom. He's trying really hard to earn that A. Okay, so the first thing I look at is, what do I know? So I know a couple of things. I know how much money Devin makes. Okay, so I have now written down, looking at the Explorer, what do I know? Well, I know that he makes $30 per day, and it says he works for 20 days. So $30 per day for 20 days. Now I have his shoes, which I can see using this chart right here. The shoes cost $100. So he has shoes, $100, and he buys those 4 times. It says right here that he buys new shoes every week. Well, there's 4 weeks in a month, so I know he buys shoes 4 days or 4 times. Now he buys a candy bar 5 times, so I can see right here that candy costs $2, and he buys that 5 times. And then last, Devin also buys Miss Pricing a Minnesota wild flag, and I can look right here and see flags are $100. So that's where this information comes from. Flags are $100. And I know what these terms mean, because I know what shoes are, I know what socks are, I know what dollars are, so I don't really need to explore that area. And then what do I really trying to find out? I'm trying to find out how much money he has after he makes this and spends this. Alright, so my next step is to make a plan, and I make a plan by choosing a strategy. I look up here, and I am going to break my problem into parts, different parts, and then I'm going to make an organized list or table. Okay, so I've chose my plan, and I need to remember, like, how do the facts relate to each other? Well, he's making money and he's spending money, so those are opposites. So that's how my facts relate to one another. And then I have to estimate my answer. And when I think about it, you know, he's making $30 over 20 days, and I know 3 times 2 is 6, but it's 30 times 20, so my guess is he's going to make around $600, and then he's buying a lot of things that are $100, so I think he's going to probably spend about $500. Now that I have chosen my plan, I am going to solve using my strategy. I set up my problem using my strategy. I made a chart and I separated it and I broke it into parts. So I had how much I made, or how much Devin made, and then I have how much Devin spent. Now I can look and I use my strategies. I am breaking it into parts and I'm making a table. So I know that he made $30 a day over 20 days. So in order to find out the total amount he made, I have to multiply because he made $30 every day. So if he does something every day, I have to add that amount over and over and over again. But adding over and over again is the same thing as multiplying. So I look right here and he has made $30 over 20 days, and 30 times 20 is 600. So Devin made $600. Now I need to figure out how much he spent. I look over here and he spent $100 on 4 pairs of shoes. Now to figure out the total, or the number of times he spent $100, I have to multiply. So 100 times 4 is $400. So I know he spent $400 on shoes. Now I have the candy that he bought me. Good job, Devin. We have the candy cost $2 and he bought that 5 times. 2 times 5 is 10. So he spent $10 on candy. And last, very smart, bought me a flag. Well, he only bought the flag 1 time, so we know he only spent $100 on the flag. Now I've broken this up into 2 parts. I know that he made $600, and I know that he spent, so this is what he made, and I know that he spent, 100 plus 10 plus 100. Okay, that's the amount here, and 400 plus 10 is 410, plus 100 is 510. So Devin spent $510. So I've broken this into 2 parts. I've made my table, and then I also had said before that I know that money spent and money earned are kind of the opposite. So if he made $600 and I know he spent $510, I have to subtract to see which is left. So Devin has a total of $90 left, and that's because 600 minus 510 equals 90. So I use my plan. It makes sense to me. My answer makes sense. So I feel like I've done the solve problem correctly and I can move on to the next step. Alright, so the last part is to check. So does my answer make sense? If Devin made $600 and he spent $510, does it make sense that he has $90 left? And the answer is yes. Now I need to double check. Did I answer the question fully? It asks how much money did Devin have at the end of September? So if this is how much he spent, or this is how much he made, so he made $600 and he spent $510, and if I find the difference, is that how much he has at the end of the month? Yes. And is that close to my estimate of $100? Yes. So I would say that I am done with the problem, and Devin, you should probably stop buying new shoes. Okay, so while you're working on your 1.1 to 1.3 problem solving slideshow, there's about 5 or 6 questions that you have to answer. You need to choose to complete the problem solving steps or the 4-step plan for one of those problems.